In this video here, we're going to cover single whip from Chang Tai Chi. There's a lot of videos on application of Tai Chi postures, and pretty much all of them, the person is always doing something defensive to utilize their Tai Chi postures. So we're going to look at it like this, because I should be able to do either or. If I throw my hand up to do something and he attaches to me, I should be able to try to control something. Or if he throws something at me, I should be able to get the same piece, right? The reason why we want to look at things in an offensive manner instead of just trying to counter his actions or utilize a counterattack is because we don't necessarily know what he's capable of, this other person, right? And to just think that we're going to be able to contend with anything that they do is somewhat delusional. You don't know if this person has mental health issues, if they're very skilled at martial arts, or if they have the propensity to want to kill somebody. You don't know any of that stuff. And if you're going to be in this altercation with a person, a lot of times if I offensively attack first, I'm able to limit the variables of what the person may be capable of doing. But if I just stand there like this, I don't know what he's going to do. Now, please understand, it's like if I wasn't able to de-escalate the situation, I'm not able to, we'll say, escape from the situation. I want to be able to potentially offensively attack them first. And in Chang Tai Chi, we want that as our main part of our strategy. In other words, I'm always trying to elicit a response from him. If I can elicit a response, then I can use his energy, I can use what he gives me. At the same time, I limit the variables of what he's capable of doing. So we also look at it like this. So say, for example, this single whip. We're going to look at it as controls, a lock or a break. We're going to look at it with strikes, and we're also going to look at it as a takedown. It's a very, very useful move. It's done throughout pretty much every system of Tai Chi, and it is probably one of the most used movements within the forms. In other words, the amount of repetition of that particular movement. So like repulse monkey, single whip, wave hands like clouds. Those are like these majority movements, and this is one of them. So we're not going to look at a lot about how he attacks, but like he throws a punch at me, I want to be able to use my palm to contend with him, right? Now from here, like a lot of people, like, I don't know, so give me some pressure, Jonathan. They'll start doing this kind of stuff, right? And he's pushing against them, and then all of a sudden he turns and whoosh, right? Or he's putting pressure, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna push against him, and I catapult him away. All of it's done. This is a receiver, okay? I throw this out here to elicit a response. I get a connection to the guy, and then from here I'm gonna work off of his bridge, his arm, okay? So let's look at it as controls first. So offensively, I'm going to attack. There's plenty of videos of the guy doing stuff. Some of the other stuff, please understand, it is a simple, direct movement. I watched a video the other day of this guy, and he grabs the guy's arm, and he goes to do single whip, and then he twists his head down, and he does all kind of crazy stuff. Well, that's not really even borrowing energy like a lot of them want to say or what have you. It's really kind of making it external. Well, you're going to see these movements as external when I do them because, well, I have to use my strength and my body in which to be able to make movements work. So look, here I come. I made this connection to him, and I'm going to go to his outside arm. And look, I'm going to control his shoulder and here. Now, I can use this for other things, but right now I'm just looking at it as a control. I've got this guy in this position, right? The same thing, if I throw one up the front, right? Say he's here with his hands, and I throw it up kind of at his face, he can either block with the arm to the inside, or try to go to the outside with it, or he can get this arm over here, right? But we're trying to work off of this one, right? So I come up and I control, right? Or this time I bring the hand up and he blocks it to the side. And look, I'm going to control it from this side. I'm getting here. Okay? So again, on the outside, I threw up this motion. I got a response out of him, and I go to control his shoulder and his wrist. Up the front side, right? I present this piece. He goes to block it from the outside, which would be a good option. Look, I can do other things, like switching and getting him on that side, right? I'm not trying to feed into this real deep. I'm just trying to show some examples of what the posture can do without making it too complex. So, but look, I threw it up, and he blocked to the outside, and I'm going to grab, and look, there I go. I stabilize him again. I'm controlling the wrist and the hands here. And look, if I pulled away from Jonathan, it's just a single whip, okay? The same thing, but this time, instead of him parrying across, right, he's going to go this way. Well, we already did that. We went from the outside. So he's going to come this way this time, right? So as I throw it up, he gets it here. I come to the outside. Now, he does two punches, right? I throw this up. I get a response from him, and he tries to get me with the other side, right? Okay, I throw it up. I got him here. It's the same thing, right? So when you're doing this single whip, and people are doing it really huge like this, what are you really doing with it, right? I mean, think about that. I'm like that. How could I really do anything with Jonathan's arm? If this is symbolizing grabbing something, or am I grabbing like that? How am I doing anything to him? Right, so it needs to be relatively in front of me, like this, see? So again, here, 1, 2, or 1, 2, or here, right? Or he does two punches, and 1, 2, and I'm controlling him. Okay. Now, we're going to do it as a lock or a break. Right, so I do the same thing. I do this to elicit a response from Jonathan. I'm going to seize the wrist, and this time, I'm going to come right here like this and smack. I can either break this, hyperextend it, or I can lock and pull it and turn it into something like needle to the bottom of the sea, or play the people, lock and make it into a restraint, but it still have this initial control. Be careful doing this, because you can really hyperextend his joint and hurt him bad, right? So again, this is the response, and bang, a break. Who does it to me? Yeah. Again, he throws something up to him. You listen to the response, he grabs right away, and he goes to control. Try not to step as far as Jonathan did. Like, watch. When I do this, look, make it a 45. If I come all the way over here to do it, he's probably already going to move, or he would have tried to retract the arm, right? So it's not like I'm trying to make this round and big, but I'm going to move in at an angle to it and snap. Does it to me again? Yeah. And look, if he pushes this way, he can actually use it to destabilize me at the same time. Okay. Now we're going to look at it as strikes. And you can see it's pretty set up. So that same door we did the control, we're going to make that a strike now. And we're going to either hit him in the ear, the jaw, the side of the neck, what have you, anywhere here, right? So I elicit keep your hands up, please. Keep your hands up. I elicit my response. He tries to parry or attach to my arm, and I grab, and I'm going to strike. It's just simple enough. It's an easy piece, right? I do it again. 1, 2. If I can, I may even pull or yank as I go to make this strike, just to give me a little bit more tautness as I make it happen. And if I can ride up and down his arm, that's great too. But again, my single whip. Right? Now, I'm going to do the same thing. I elicit the response from the inside, and he's trying to parry across. Right? As he does, I'm going to strike to the opposite side of his neck. So I hit him in the neck or the ear or the jawline, anywhere in there. Right? I do it again. I throw something up, and I strike. Again, I throw something up, and I strike. I go to the outside again. 1, 2, strike. This side again. 1, 2, strike. Let's see, how can I say that? There's a variety, doing this by itself, you can actually feed these together, the controls and the strikes of it. Okay, so we've got our takedown we're going to do now. So the takedown, we're going to scoop his leg out, but we're going to get that same control to the outside again, right? So I elicit a response, I grab his wrist, and instead of me kind of just pushing here by itself, if I push, I can stimulate him to push back against me. And I take his leg, right? You don't necessarily have to do that, but if we're really saying what we're saying, we're trying to borrow energy. Again, you can't do that with every movement. Some movements I have to put force in it to get him to make a response. then I can borrow his energy. But if I just sit there and wait for him to do something, again, I don't know what he's going to do. He could kick you, he could jump on you, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I want to limit that. So again, I listen to the response, I force into him, and I scoop him up. Okay? So, if we review it real quick, I went here, one, there's my control on the outside, right? I throw one to the middle, and look, he blocks to this side here, and he throws one to the other side. I control here, right? I throw one to the front again, and as he responds, I can control over here, but I don't like this because then he can still twist and pivot. Pivot, please. See, I don't want to do that. So at least controlling the shoulder from a single action, or controlling the elbow from a secondary. Make sense? Okay, and then if I do the same thing, and I throw the hand up, and he's on this side, right? I'm going to grab, control. Again, if I throw it this side and he goes this way, again, I'm going to grab and try to control. It's the same thing, inside or out. Right? So if I feed through them one time, I'm here, I throw it to the front, he parries this way, I hit this shoulder, or if he throws two punches, relax. Punch, one, two, I control both arms. Or it's not like I'm trying to keep him from doing something, right? If I get these and he starts pushing into me or whatever, I'll turn it into something else. We're not doing that with this video. This is just like single actions. Okay? And then we've got our break. I do up my response to get him to attach, a snap. Right? Again, you can snap or you can block and try to pull him down or force him off, right? And then we have our strikes. I elicit my response and I strike him. You can strike him anywhere here. I mean, you can literally even strike him in the lower body, but here's a great shot, the jaw, you know, the side of the head, easily in here, all of that. And it's a really clean movement, just 1, 2, right? And then of course I could follow through, a push or something, right? The inside, and this one on the inside, it could be, I'm throwing a straight line, right, to just to get him to do something. I throw it up and I strike to the side. But I can do that same thing if he throws a big hook. Again, hook. I'll do the same thing. I'm still striking and I'm still doing my single whip. So I've got strike to the outside, strike to the inside over here, and then we've got our takedown, right? So again, this is the response. I'm on the outside. I come through, I push or not, and then I swoop this leg. You could, the guy that I saw the video, if he would have looked better if he would have done it like this. Put your feet. All right, so whether I threw the punch or not, and I was here. Well, you can pull the head down from this side. I don't think it's the best move because if he steps like this, and look, let me put that foot back forward. And look, if I pull him and he steps, all he's going to do is just stabilize himself. So what I mean? I really need to, if I'm going to do that to pull him, I'm going to need to use a secondary action, a hook or something like that to take him down. So again, it makes it about me muscling him. A lot of the Tai Chi application I see, they're projecting the person back the direction they came, right? This kind of stuff, you know. He's in here and he goes to neutralize it and then he pushes the guy off. I do wrestling, swajao, you know, if you want to call it wrestling, but really it's a body throwing art. And it utilizes all of the same methods, or the core methods at a higher level that Tai Chi does, right? So something comes at me from this way, I'm not going to I'm going to only stabilize it for a second, and once I do, and he keeps pushing or something, I'm going to change it to something else. Why do I want to fight his energy if the whole premise was that I was supposed to be borrowing and utilizing his in the first place? It doesn't make sense. You're making force on force, and then you're changing the line to catapult it away from you. When I should if I just change the direction, I can take everything from him. It just makes more sense. I create more force with the action. The other way, you're just bumping something away. I want him on the ground, so he's no longer a threat. So one last quick time. So I elicit a response with my palm. I control his arm. I throw one up the front. He blocks it. I control the arm in his opposite shoulder. If he does another punch, I'm going to control the inside of his arm here and this one here. If I come in and he blocks to the outside, I'm going to pull and I'm still going to try to control here, right? Again, I elicit a response and I go to snap his elbow or control his elbow or turn it over. You turn it into a control with a takedown if you wish. And then we have it as strikes, right? So I elicit my response, I strike to the outside, I elicit my response, and I come across to the inside like this. And then as a takedown, I elicit my response, I get a hold, and I scoop you off. And done. So we're going to make probably about 2 dozen of these, and I'm trying to keep them super simple like this. And, this is my opinion. There's plenty of people out there with their opinions. If you're doing Tai Chi for functional fitness, you're taking classes from me for that, or you're looking at it as exercise, that's wonderful. On this other side over here, if you want to do it for self-defense, you have to let go of some of the theoretical stuff and see how you would actually physically apply it with another person. And that's what I'm trying to do. Tai Chi is something you should be able to do at all stages of your life. You know, whether you're Jonathan's age in your 30s or you're in your 70s or 80s, you still should be able to benefit from Tai Chi, and especially Chang's Tai Chi, where we integrate Sua Jiao and Xing Yi and Tai Chi together into one clean unit. So anyway, thank you for watching.